into the cosmic unknown, where secrets drift like stars alone. With Tor and Mike, entice him to guide. We're diving deep into space's dark side. Welcome to the FullGrownPizza podcast, where mysteries linger and legends outlast. From cryptids to secrets, our journey is past. Tonight we uncover the satellite's past. For the tale will tell of signals and shadows that none can dispel. This is the podcast where questions ignite, exploring the darkness beyond our sight.
All right, we are back. FullGrownPizza, episode 29. All right, yeah, we took a little bit of a break for some family stuff that was going on, so we had to kind of push the podcast back. But we are back this week.
I just play video games. What are you talking about?
Well, yeah, for me, family stuff. So
it's always him. Whenever we're gone, it's always him.
Usually me, to be honest. Yeah, to be fair, it usually is. So, all right.
Life, weirdo.
I know. God, have a family and people that want to do stuff with me. It's terrible. But hey, we're here. We made it. We made it this week, and this week we're going to be talking about the Black Knight satellite, which is kind of a cool conspiracy theory, so I'm excited to get into it. But before we do, make sure to hit the like button, the follow and subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you know when we go live. We try to go live every Sunday around 3 p.m. Mountain Time, but things come up, so make sure to follow us on social media and hit that notification bell so you know when we are going live.
Share. Like me, I'm sharing to other social places that we're streaming right now.
Yeah, all right. Okay. Oh, yeah, and we do have an affiliate link if you are in need for some all-natural dog treats. We do have an affiliate link for the for Ugly Chews, which does all-natural dog treats. You can check out that link that's on the side of the screen there. And also, we've got a coupon code, I think, as well, if you put in FullGrownPizza Podcast at checkout. So make sure to check that out. You get free stuff, so cool.
Oh, you get free shipping?
Well, shipping's a thing, sort of.
Yeah,
it's a service.
Cost.
Yeah. All right. So we'll get into the overview of the Black Knight satellite. Have you guys heard of the Black Knight satellite at all by chance?
I've heard of it, but I don't really know too much about it.
Okay.
Yeah, it rhymes.
So,
obviously,
it does. It rhymes, which is freaking awesome.
Floating above us. There. Already did it. Mystery's out. Already did it. End of episode.
You got it.
Talk about video games.
Well, I don't have much to talk about.
That's creation for next hour.
No, but obviously because it rhymes, that lends credence to the theory. So it's obviously more true than false because it has that linguistic factor to it. So we can start off with that. So thanks for bringing that up. Anyways, the Black Knight satellite, it's said to be this unidentified object in the polar orbit around the Earth. So it orbits between the North and South Pole, like all the way around the Earth. And unlike most satellites, which follow, more conventional orbits, this one, like I said, moves between the North and the South Poles, which is apparently a much more difficult. What's that?
I'm surprised none of you are complaining about echo.
Oh, I haven't heard myself echo.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because
so
I just realized I was going through the main speakers, like right in front of the microphone. Like,
oh
yeah, that should go through my headset.
yeah.
I'm wearing headphones for nothing.
Are you using
Just
your
be
Are you
fashionable.
using your microphone or are you using your webcam? Your mic does sound a little different, but it might
I
be
used
it
my,
might just be
I
that
probably
too.
have my voice mod on still.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh
sounds
yeah,
like
that's
it.
what it is. Yep. Okay, so I'll
Yeah.
get into kind of the origins of it, the beginnings of this. So, back
There we go.
in 1899, Nikola Tesla, he claimed to have detected some strange radio signals. And Tesla believed that these signals were coming from outer space. They were coming from, he didn't really have a theory or an origination on like what exactly it was coming from, but apparently these signals were repeating signals. It wasn't like noise or like something that you would think would come from like a natural source.
Yeah.
So he believed that it originated from, something in outer space that wasn't necessarily just like a natural occurrence. So that's kind of where this theory kicks off because people in the 1920s, amateur radio operators, they also picked up on some strange and unusual signals. They couldn't really explain it, didn't know where it was coming from. So a lot of these early incidents, including the Nikola Tesla, this was kind of the groundwork for the theory of this Black Knight satellite. So essentially, what Tesla was doing, though, to kind of dive deeper into that, Tesla was experimenting with wireless energy transmission and conducting research on radio waves when he noticed a series of repeating signals that seemed different from any natural electromagnetic phenomena that he had encountered before. He wrote about the experience in various notes and interviews where, let's see, sorry, I'm reading through my notes because there's some long words. He wrote about the experience in various notes and interviews, suggesting these signals might be communication attempts from intelligent beings from another planet. So, ooh, spooky. We never really did figure out like what exactly it was coming from. A lot of claims are that this is a naturally occurring thing. It's coming from pulsars from like neutron stars because they have been known to develop or produce these radio frequencies. Um, However, we can't really be sure. So, um, yeah. So, and then to kind of build off of this, essentially, well, maybe I should start. I didn't actually tell you guys what the Black Knight satellite is, did I? Or no, I did. Yeah, it's orbit in the polar orbit of the planet, right? So, a mysterious object that apparently people are claiming goes in that orbit around the Earth. So that's essentially what it is. And we do have some pictures of it. I'll show later too. Um, so in 1954, there was a bunch of newspaper articles. If you go to look at your screen here, we've got some newspapers they published stories about a UFO researcher named Donald Kehoe, and he claimed that the U.S. Air Force had detected 2 artificial satellites orbiting Earth. So what was interesting about this was before any known man-made satellites had actually made it to orbit. So the first satellite was the Sputnik, and that was the first human-made satellite, and it wasn't launched into orbit until 1957. So this is 1954, where this guy's claiming to have detected claiming the Air Force had detected 2 artificial satellites orbiting the Earth. So there was a whole series of different articles in 1954 that were publishing stuff about this and stories and the mysterious nature of this. And then all these stories were based on this guy's reporting, this guy's kind of story. But the reports also described the satellites as following the polar orbits. So again, interesting because we've got reports of these satellites following the polar orbits, which is not normal for most satellites, and we didn't even have any satellites up in our orbit at this time that were human made. So kind of interesting. And this was during the Yeah, this was again where the US and the Soviets were kind of the primary movers when it comes to the space technology and trying to get all this stuff off the ground. Um, so
Man,
we've got this.
50s were crazy.
Yeah, so we've got starting all the way back from 1899 with Nikola Tesla into the 20s, where we've got even more radio frequencies going on into 1954, where now we're starting to tie this kind of phenomenon um, into like satellites and stuff like that. Um, and then this Kehoe guy, yeah, he suggested that these satellites were sophisticated objects potentially beyond human technological capability. So he thought that they could have been placed in orbit by some other advanced civilization, possibly extraterrestrial, possibly ancient civilization like Atlanteans and things that we've talked about in previous episodes. What's interesting about this, too, is that the U.S. government did not make any official statements regarding these reports. So that kind of fueled further speculation because people were like, you're just not going to say anything about this? Like, like what's going on? And, and so, and then this gets even further into the 1960s. So in 1960, the U.S. Navy detected an unidentified object in polar orbit. And again, at this time, neither the US nor the Soviet Union had the capability to place a satellite in such an orbit. So the US government and the military were initially concerned that the object might have been a Soviet reconnaissance satellite, which again, we're in kind of the Cold War era. They indicated a significant technological leap for the Soviet Union. But some reports claimed that the object was estimated to weigh up to 15 tons, which is a size and mass that is much larger than any known satellite at the time. So that would have been pretty impressive. So not only is it in a completely different orbit than we've ever been able to obtain, but it's also significantly larger in size and mass than any other satellite that we've put up there. And the U.S. government actually had concerns that this was a Soviet reconnaissance satellite. So that kind of lends credence to it not being a U.S. government thing if they're worried about it. You know, they wouldn't, I guess, necessarily be worried about it if it was their own thing. But who knows what kind of story they're going to spin and what they're trying to do if it is. So anyways, after a brief period of uncertainty and public speculation, the U.S. government provided an official explanation. They said that the unidentified object was a piece of space debris from a previously launched Discoverer satellite. This was part of the Corona reconnaissance program. So the Discoverer series was used for early spy satellite missions to gather intelligence on the Soviet Union. And so, but
make a nice cover story,
yeah, but again, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense because if it's 15 tons and that's larger than any satellite that we've ever put into orbit, it can't be a piece of space debris from another satellite. That doesn't make any sense.
No,
So
especially that big,
that makes me think like, oh, they must have figured something out because why would they put that information out there when it's
it's like they're saying there is a satellite there, but they don't know what it is, but they're gonna say it's this because they don't want people looking into it too much,
Right. They needed something and that was their answer. But if the 15-ton estimation is correct, that doesn't really add up. It doesn't make any sense. No. So strange. And then we kind of get into some photographic evidence. So in 1998, during the STS-88 space shuttle mission, the astronauts, they took photographs of a mysterious black object orbiting Earth, and these images became some of the most widely circulated evidence for the Black Knight satellite. This is actually on NASA's website, so you can you can go and you can find this picture. It looks like this, but I found this more zoomed in picture. And so, but what's interesting about it is, and you can do kind of like this weird like zoom scan thingy on their website too, which is pretty cool. But yeah, this is the actual picture. It's on their website. It has the date and everything on there, that you can see that this was 1998. And so, here's the thing, though. NASA, they later explained that this object was just a piece of space debris. It's probably a thermal blanket or something that was lost during the mission. And yeah, right. I'm like, does that look like a freaking blanket to you? Like, I don't know, man. It's huge. It's pretty big. Like, I don't know how close they were to it, but if you look at this picture, like, they're far away, it looks like. And there's no way in hell a blanket looks that big from a great distance away. So we're talking about some kind of structure, and it is kind of, it's obviously black, and it, to me, it looks metal. Like, it looks like it would be,
It does have like a shine to it. Like
it does have like a,
it
has like a little bit of a shine to it. So that makes me think that this couldn't be a thermal blanket, that's for sure. So like, what the fuck? Like, why are all these government agencies coming up with the weirdest cover-up things? Like, they think that, I guess, I don't know, maybe they didn't think the internet was gonna blow up as big as it did, and you know, who knows when they put this on the internet, but
like, nobody's
I
gonna
don't
look
know.
at this.
Yeah, they're just like, no one's gonna zoom in on this. I mean, come on. Like, they're gonna think that, sure, why not? So, yeah, so that's kind of that's essentially the whole theory and like the evidence kind of leading up to it. And now it's just speculation of like, okay, what actually is this thing? And is it what the government says or claims it to be? Is it what NASA claims it to be? Are all these things connected together? Like, are the radio signals that were detected by Nikola Tesla in 1899, are those part of this? Because it could come from some sort of satellite.
Like, it's trying to communicate with us,
right? Trying to communicate. Is it monitoring us?
Like, trying to communicate with like a USO station or something like that.
Right? Is it spying on us? Maybe it's a thing like, you know, we've talked about in other episodes where, you know, maybe we're on like a technological path, or right, like a research path or something. Maybe this is kind of waiting there for us for when
you unlock a tree. So
exactly, like we're waiting. Like, they're waiting for us to discover it, so they know, okay, now you've reached a certain point on the tech tree where, you know, we can be more involved with you guys and what's going on, or we can give you, you know, so the next phase of your technological development. Like, if you think back to like ancient aliens or whatever, if they came down and they assisted these ancient cultures and stuff with technology, but they haven't been doing that to us more recently, maybe it's because we need to discover something. Maybe we haven't found something, or maybe they don't think we're ready yet. So
that point where we can communicate with them. And, you know,
right, yeah, we have to reach this milestone where they're like, okay, now here's your next branch of technology. So
it's interesting that you talk about how it has a polar orbit too. We talk about how there's like supposed to be like alien stations in Antarctica. Maybe there's something in North America or North Pole too that we don't know about, and they're just using that to communicate back and forth, or maybe to look out what we're doing, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I asked ChatGPT, this is a little bit further down on my notes, but I asked it, like, what is the significance of this polar orbit? Like, why, you know, why have something in a polar orbit as opposed to some other orbit or whatever? And it basically said this allows for complete Earth coverage. Like, a satellite in polar orbit passes over both the North and South poles, obviously, and the orbital path allows it to cover the entire surface of the planet as the Earth rotates beneath it. So, unlike other types of orbit, a polar orbit would enable an extraterrestrial satellite to observe and monitor the entire globe over a series of passes. So you actually end up getting a much more cohesive and complete, like, orbital pathway, I guess, across the whole planet. Which is what you would want if you were watching us. Right. If you're monitoring or surveilling or spying or whatever, I mean, that's the kind of thing that you want to go for.
Yeah.
This could also be...
Why would a blanket need to survey the Earth?
Yeah. What does the blanket need to know about us? Like, come on.
Why do they have 15-ton blankets? Doesn't make any sense.
Right, a 15-ton giant blanket. Seriously.
Well, I have a weighted blanket, but it's not 15 tons, more like 15 pounds.
Yeah, I like weighted blankets too, but 15 tons might be a little much. I don't know if I'd ever wake up after that nap. That might be the end of my nap. Um, so yeah, we can get back. I can go back into more of that, but essentially, to kind of wrap that up, the evidence and the counter arguments are the radio signals. A lot of people point to those as something that could have come from this, this strange satellite. We also have the NASA photograph. It does say, I don't know. They said photographs, but I could only find one, so I'm not sure if there's more. But maybe
Probably
there's
is more.
some
They just
that are
don't want you to see
hidden.
what they're.
Yeah, maybe this one's like the one that doesn't show nearly as much.
The other one has like hieroglyphs on it
This
or
is the one that
something.
most
Yeah.
looks like a blanket.
Right. So, anyways, we have the NASA and what they're saying. They're like, yeah, that looks mostly like a blanket. We can come up with a blanket. I bet you they had a meeting and they're like, what does this look like to you guys? And they're probably all like, some kind of satellite. And they're like, no. Like if it wasn't a satellite, what would you say? They're like, blanket?
What could we get away with this thing?
Yeah, exactly. What can we get away with? And
What if you were dumb?
what if you were stupid and you weren't an astronaut?
Yeah.
They're like, blanket.
What if you didn't know shit
they
about
probably
science or the astronomical field or anything at all?
Yeah. They probably just looked around the room and they're like, thermal blanket. Why don't you just do that?
Plastic bag? Like,
Yeah.
there's no plastic bag up in space. There's thermal blankets.
They're like, oh yeah,
Maybe.
okay. And I want to know, if it is a thermal blanket, how do you lose the thermal blanket in space? Like, how does that?
Can we get a picture
What did
of
you,
a
like,
thermal blanket
open-
on Earth?
Like, what did you open the window or something of your spacecraft? Like, what the hell happened? Like, that doesn't even make
Yeah.
sense to me.
They were watching their kid as they're going to this fucking moon, and he threw it out the window.
Yeah, damn children.
So awesome.
That
the
ended the
door when they shut
NASA
it in
children
space.
program. Yeah, children
The
astronaut program.
atmosphere highway.
Yeah,
There's also
exactly.
a lone chew up there.
Yeah, I told him not to hold his thermal blanket out the window. Gosh darn it.
Is then like Elon Musk's car up there too.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So this picture here is this is like a pulsar kind of thing. Yeah. Essentially, yeah, this was just kind of back when we were talking about how they were explaining how this could be, the radio signals could just be some naturally occurring thing from like a pulsar, like a neutron star, whatever, that emanates these natural kind of radio frequencies. And then we got a picture of like fake space debris. I don't think this is not a real picture, but space debris, things like that out here. But again, like we talked about, there was nothing in space. There was no machinery in space at the time that would be in that orbit, that would be that size, that none of that really works. You could say like, oh, maybe it's an asteroid or something, but it doesn't look that way from the picture. I mean, so I don't know. I mean, it seems like there's something there. So anyways, those are all the pictures I have, but to get into kind of some of the more theoretical stuff and theory stuff, obviously the big one is extraterrestrial origin. So like,
no, the big one is connecting it back to the Dark Pyramid.
Yes, we need to tie it. I actually didn't do a whole lot of work in tying that into the Dark Pyramid, but it kind of ties itself into it.
So far, you're getting a C on this presentation.
Oh,
come on, Tyson.
Oh, come on. But yeah, obviously extraterrestrial origin. Another thing is ancient civilization connection too. So some people believe that the Black Knight satellite is actually linked to ancient civilizations like the Atlanteans, or maybe some kind of lost culture or something. Or another thing, possibly time travel. What if this is like the future keeping tabs on the past of like, oh, we need to make sure things are going properly. And so, yeah, we really don't know when this.
Tons.
Yep.
It's a failsafe.
15 tons.
Like you guys fucked up, and it just shoots it into the fucking North Pole and throws us off our axis, and we're just like,
oh, what
fucked
if
over.
that's what it is? A doomsday device or something? It's just like, okay, and launch it into the North Pole. Boom, destroy the planet. Could be, who knows? But yeah, tying it into like our whole grand conspiracy thing, like I was thinking that, you know, obviously we have all these dark pyramids and stuff in the planet that we've talked about, or you know, on the surface of the planet, but we haven't really talked about much like out in space where all the extraterrestrials come from. So is this a
I got it.
Okay,
Why
go.
is so big and powerful, and it's from the 1940s or 1950s, which is like, why does everything happen in the 1950s? Like, you just start paying attention outside or what? Anyways, we did talk about the North Pole when we were talking about Hollow Earth. But they said there was an entrance up there.
Yeah.
So this 15-ton fucking satellite is so the people in Hollow Earth can get Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Except it travels around the Earth to the South Pole too.
The South Pole needs Wi-Fi too.
Yeah, they need Wi-Fi.
There's 2 entrances.
It's the first Starlink, and they're just like
provides Hollow Earth all its Wi-Fi needs.
Yeah, it's like, all right, you guys are good. All they need is just like a brief pass.
A reserve battery system. That's why it's so heavy and so big, and it goes around and collects energy from all those black pyramids, and you know, it's like a way station for aliens. They can just they don't want to come all the way into the orbit of Earth, or the atmosphere of Earth. They can just hit the satellite and, you know, recharge real quick and keep going.
That would connect back to what I said when we were watching. You were watching the thing about the Phoenix lights, and I was like, they're saying like all of them look like they're pyramids. And I was just like, what if the Dark Pyramid is just a mothership that landed?
That's what I was thinking.
That's why they're fucking doing that stuff. And now you have an excess battery. It's basically like a charge station to fucking, it hooks up to there, like connects to it, and it activates this like overdrive, and then it shoots off.
I was thinking that, but I was also thinking, what if itself is a dark pyramid of sorts? You know, like what if it is a dark pyramid that's on the, you know, outer orbit of the planet? Because if you've got extraterrestrials trying to travel to, you know, between planets or something, it would kind of make sense if they've got this dark pyramid technology to teleport them between planets or between different points of the universe or something like that. Because we've only talked about, at this point, dark pyramids on the planet being like waypoints and stuff around our specific planet. But
so it is kind of like a Wi-Fi satellite, but it's for dark pyramids, so it can orchestrate where you're fucking landing. That's why it's outside the orbit, and that's why it covers the whole entire Earth. So you can hit all the pyramids.
Maybe it is like a Wi-Fi router, and all of the dark pyramids are connected to it, and that kind of connects them all together. You know, it connects the whole
like
web
a control
together.
station or something for all of them. You know,
right? So
it's a dark pyramid satellite.
Yep. So it would make sense. Dark Pyramid satellite that was put there to kind of connect.
Well done.
We did it.
So what is this theory? So you got the black pyramids or dark pyramids on Earth, so you go directly to that location. Maybe you don't want to go directly to that location, so you just go to the satellite and like drive in manually, you know?
Yeah, plus it would be a quick and easy way to get back out to space without alerting the freaking U.S. Air Force and radar.
Yeah, nothing's monitoring the North Pole.
Right, exactly. Like they're not going to be. No one's up there.
It's some polar bear, like
it's the polar bear. Oh, the stupid black pyramid thing. Bye, guys. Or Yeti or something.
Technology someday.
Yeah,
he's out there trying to make like ice fucking technology.
Could you imagine? He's like putting little ice blocks together. Like, I could do this.
All my components are melting. Damn global warming.
Like, God damn it. But then what if the ancient civilizations like the Atlanteans, or God, what was that big ship that we talked about in that one episode that might have been the start? Yeah, something like that. Whatever. Like maybe
the missing island.
Yeah, the missing island. What if that's the missing island? What if it just flew up into space, or maybe or maybe that's
tiny
like
for a missing island.
Yeah, that's true. It could just be like a you know, like a surveillance drone or something from it, you know. Like they could have flown up and been like, "All right, now you come keep an eye on it and we're taking off to the next planet to go freaking inhabit that
Well,
one."
we didn't start putting shit up there until like 1950s because like Sputnik's
Right.
the first satellite course. So it probably is space junk. So it has to be. You got to think that it's like came from like the first like one of the spaceships, and we were saying that the island was a spaceship. So maybe that's why it landed.
Maybe it is space junk. Maybe they weren't lying necessarily. Maybe they were saying it was space junk. They just didn't want to tell us exactly what from. Because maybe they don't. Maybe they don't know. They're like, "What the fuck, space junk is this?
Maybe they're telling
Where
the
did this
truth.
come
It
from?"
is a thermal blanket, but it's not from one of our things.
Oh no, it's from a much bigger thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
A 15-ton thermal blanket from a fucking UFO.
Yeah.
Fucking mothership DarkPyramid that landed that was the size of an island or continent, and then just like we're going to Hollow Earth.
So one thing I haven't talked about yet is that, and I mentioned it briefly, but about the ancient civilizations and whatnot. But a lot of people that kind of hold to this view of the satellite, they believe that it might have been left in orbit by these civilizations or was sent by the aliens who once interacted with them. And they hold to this 13,000 year timeline. And they say that it might be also connected to cataclysms and theories around like the rise and fall of ancient civilizations and stuff. So I'm not sure, like maybe if there's a way we could track like the orbit of it and like how it's interacting with, kind of like you were saying with a doomsday
so many
device,
cycles
like maybe
it sends something off to and restart
yeah,
everything.
maybe it's like it's got like a clock and it's
timer.
like, okay,
What if it's like you know how I say like it's a fucking checkpoint, like if you guys can reach this, you guys are good to go.
yeah,
Reach your next step of technology. What if it's like if you guys can touch this, it's actually a reset button and reset you all back to your normal thing again.
Oh man, what if you go up there and you're just like, huh, what's this, and you touch it and then boom, reset the planet?
What does this button do?
Yeah, what does this big red button do? Oh shit.
Like, these goddamn humans are so fucking curious. They can't stop touching these buttons.
This is why
And
we
they
don't
keep on
bring
trying
the
to pet
children
other
up in
animals.
space anymore. Yep, exactly. That's the real reason that they stopped bringing kids up in the freaking.
It's like I want to pet it.
Like no,
I
Charlie.
mean, I'm looking at it right now, and I want to touch it too. I touch it.
Yeah, I would do.
It's like, ooh.
Are you kidding me? If I was floating around in space, I'd be like, ooh, touch. What is this? Get infected by some kind of alien virus.
Tyson,
Just like,
yes.
smallpox
Fucking
or
alien
something.
virus.
Alien smallpox.
Alien smallpox that spreads super fast and just resets everything.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god.
Like we made it so only 1% of the population will survive this. It's a nice restart for you guys.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wonder,
yeah.
maybe you guys know the ancient alien theory, how the aliens came down and they spread genes among all of us. Maybe this is the spreading station they said, and it just got left here, because it covers the whole entire Earth. So if you want to hit everybody, you take something that had a big orbit like that. You could you spray it from there, and
Well, but
just
then
like
the
they
other
do.
thing is like the Men in Black, obviously with all things, they must be involved to some extent in this. So what is their role in all of this? Like where
Maybe it's their satellite.
do you think? I mean, it is black, so
Yeah.
it does kind of
Yeah, they
fit.
like wearing black.
The government
They like
isn't actually
black.
exactly forthcoming about it. So
Right.
If you kind of look at it, it kind of looks like a boot with a pant leg sleeve over it.
Yeah, it looks like a boot. That's what I thought too.
Yeah. Men in Black boot.
We know Men in Black love boots,
mhm.
obviously. So,
And
but
beanies.
that is the other thing I was thinking of too, is that if the government knows more about this than they're letting on, then the Men in Black must be involved, right? Because they're involved with all the space alien stuff, but they're also involved with the government and not letting the government, step on anything that they're not supposed to and whatnot. So I don't know, but it does make me wonder because, like you said, all this stuff happened around the 1950s, and you got the Cold War stuff, and everyone's trying to get to race to space, and all of that, super important. And so more and more stuff like this starts coming out. But now that we've got like SpaceX and we've got, what's the other company, Blue Origin or something?
Yeah, Blue Origin.
We've got all these different like privatized space exploration or space technology kind of companies now. Like, I wonder if we're going to learn more about this in the coming years, or if we are going to discover something, or maybe if there's a way we could just say, hey, Elon Musk, like, why don't you just squash this theory right here and right now, Like,
Yeah, go
that'd be
touch
a
it.
quick one. You don't have to go all the way to the moon or Mars or anything like that. Just quickly, go up there and figure out what the hell this is. Tell us for sure,
Go see if they have a button on it and touch it.
Yeah,
I
go
mean, it
touch the
either
buttons.
resets us or we get to advanced technology tree.
Because I would be much more trusting of like what Elon Musk would say if he actually did that, because he seems to me like more of a mission focused person, not just somebody who's going to like, jump on a governmental bandwagon of whatever they want you to say. So
Yeah, he's not going to follow that line, whatever they're going to try to feed us.
right, especially with the whole free speech everything for him, from his perspective, I would imagine that he would want to actually tell the truth about it. Plus, he's got so much power and he owns freaking X and everything now. It's like, I don't know if they could really stop him, if they wanted to.
Yeah, they can't really intimidate him anymore.
Yeah, so that's kind of a interesting point. Or I think it would be cool, but it also kind of ties back to previous episodes where we've talked about. I think we talked about this when we were talking about Bigfoot, but we were saying how there's just not enough resources and not enough people that actually care about these things, And to me, I feel like, why don't we just figure it out and then we're done? Why don't we just go up there? If it's a freaking alien thing, then holy shit, that could be a big deal. And if it's not, then whatever. Now we know,
It's a space blanket.
But yeah,
the problem is like if you go out there and they're like, it is an alien thing, then it's going to be a race from all the countries to try to get it first, so they can do the reverse technology.
Yeah.
So they can fucking have the advanced technology.
The other thing is, who's to say we haven't already done that and then come back down and then they don't want to tell everybody it's an alien thing and they're actually studying it and researching it and whatever. So I don't know.
Maybe that's what the space race was about. This is like, hey guys,
maybe.
there's something up there.
Because that was kind of
We gotta
strange.
fucking
Like,
hurry up and get there.
I get the whole like, hey, if we're up in space, we can monitor our enemies and our allies and stuff more effectively and whatnot and efficiently and stuff. But it was kind of interesting how it all just happened at once, right? Like the Cold War and then space and then nuclear war and everything. It all happened right then and there.
Nuclear.
So kind of strange, yeah. But then what do you think occurred? If it was all leading up to that point, what occurred between the freaking 1899 where we're hearing just radio signals to the 1960s and
It was the nuclear bombs. When we dropped those off, that's when all the aliens started showing up.
Yeah,
that's when we got Roswell and all that other stuff.
Yep.
We hit
like
we hit that fucking
bell,
technology tree. We got that technology tree. They're
Right.
like they're splitting atoms, guys. We gotta fucking do something about this.
Yeah,
And the Men in Black.
Check them out, see what's going on.
Who gave the toddler the freaking bomb?
Yeah.
I mean, is that basically is when 1950? So yeah, it was when the aliens started showing up. Is after the nuclear bombs and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's like we split the atom and stuff, and they're like,
yeah.
Whoa!
Like,
Watch these
close
guys.
down,
Doing over
guys.
here. Gotta check it out.
Yep.
They're gonna blow themselves up.
They're like
Splitting atoms.
And then all the blondes came down and said war is bad.
Then they
It's
told.
like we're basically toddlers, and we're reaching for the stove. Like no.
Right.
Yeah,
They're
hot.
like, don't, yes, hot. Very hot.
Don't do that.
Yeah, not good.
And they fucking left a little watchdog called the Men in Black for us, and that's where we get the black satellite from.
And then the Men in Black constantly have to remind the government when they're overreaching or something that you probably shouldn't do that. Remember the big giant doomsday device we've got hanging over your planet? Like, all we got to do is push one button, that thing blows you all up. So I don't know, maybe not. It also makes me think, like, I could, just from the picture, right, I could picture a giant freaking like laser beam coming down out of that thing, just like, you know, blasting the hell out of us. And if it covers pretty much the whole planet, I mean,
it does kind of look like a shark, doesn't it?
Yep. It makes
Sharks
me
with
think that it's
freaking
going
laser
to
beams
laser
attached
beam
to their
us.
head.
Yeah. Yep.
I
So,
figure every creature deserves a warm meal.
yep. So, yeah, that's pretty much the Black Knight satellite. But pretty crazy how it ties into pretty much everything we've been talking about.
Yeah, right. You got 40 minutes, so yeah, you got to see on this report. You're under time.
Well,
most of us get C's on our reports, so it's not a big deal.
Also,
great.
outside the last like 10 minutes, like I was the only one talking, so come on. Like, come on. You guys didn't really interject much during my explanation.
I didn't want to interrupt. You had a flow going.
Interrupt.
Too much about it, so
you guys interrupt. That's it's your job.
It's fine. It's fine. It leaves time for some fucking pizza tokens.
Okay, we can talk. We can talk about other stuff. So now we'll transition into the phase of the podcast where we talk about
your theory. What is your theory on it?
My theory on it.
This is a laser, which was shark.
Yeah, it's a laser beam. No, no, honestly, okay. My honest theory.
Or is it relatively
what's your conclusion based on our theories?
I think it's ancient, but I don't necessarily know if any ancient civilizations were a part of it because, you know, they didn't really.
It's just been there since 1940s.
It's just been there.
Anything over 1940s is ancient.
Oh yeah. No, but I mean, it's probably been there for a long time, right? Like whenever my theory is that, okay, whenever that giant mothership came down from that freaking island that, you know, is no longer here anymore, that giant mothership, that was the start of the whole operation. That was the plant. That was the aliens coming down here. That's them, you know, getting people to, you know, work for them and do what they need to do and start building out the Black Pyramid structures.
DNA, you know, getting them to make good workers.
Yep, getting all that stuff. Then when these guys take off, get that stuff. And then when they take off, they're like, okay, we need a surveillance drone to watch everything. And maybe it's also got a, you know, an oh shit button, right? Yeah. So I think that's probably what it is. It's like a extraterrestrial kind of surveillance thing that goes around the planet, monitors our progress, monitors our technological advances, monitors like, you know, how we're developing and what we're doing. And it might also be like a, you know, it might be the Wi-Fi router for when, you know, imagine this, like that's the Wi-Fi router. And then you've got all the Black Pyramids, which are the Dark Pyramids, which are like different computers that are being set up all around the planet, and that's basically what's connecting them all together.
Yeah.
And
like the central hub.
Yeah, they were like, okay, we're leaving the router here, so when you guys get your computer set up, you can connect to it. And so that's kind of what I think it is.
So they're taking all our data and sending it to the mothership, and it's traveling across space and has a long time to get there. And everybody, they're coming as soon as they see you at fucking TikTok. They're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. And then when they use
when like the first YouTube video, 2 girls 1 cup, definitely is like, oh shit, no,
like,
this is it.
Man. Yeah, exactly. Could you imagine it's feeding back like the most popular things, and it's like sending back all this stuff, and they're like, oh my god, these people are so stupid.
Maybe just use it to tap into our YouTube and TV. So
it's just a bunch of cat videos and like things like porn and things. They're like, oh my god.
If they did like get like all the YouTube stuff and like he's like, what is the first like the most popular video would pop up? What would be the video? And are we doomed? That's the question.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they're doing. But it makes me wonder
like,
too.
Charlie bit my finger. It's like, oh man, they're cannibals.
Yeah. I do kind of wonder though, like with Starlink and stuff out on the, you know, out there, like, I don't know, how does that impact this orbit, like the polar orbit? And what if we had some kind of crash or like, you know, satellite, you know, crashed into it? To the orbits?
It is because there's like different levels of orbit, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
So that's possible too. Yeah, it just makes me wonder, like, you know, what if there was a crash or something, or like, what if.
Yeah.
What if something happened that causes?
Kind of weird, like how nothing up in orbit really interact with anything else. But I guess they're all going in the same direction.
Yeah, it's true. So I don't know, but you would think at some point, right? The polar orbit's going around, and at some point it crosses paths with some other orbit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Possibly. And
we're not really accounting for it because we don't know what it is.
Yeah, based on time and speed and whatever, like
and how much debris we got out there.
You know, right? Could it collide with something, and how's that going to impact things? Because if that takes out the whole Black Pyramid like system or whatever, I mean, I could imagine the aliens being pretty, pissed off about that.
Yeah.
Or
shut down their Wi-Fi.
Right.
I know I get really pissed when my Wi-Fi goes down.
Well, they
can't do anything, and I can't play any games.
They would just send a technician, a Dark Pyramid technician out. He would go work on it. It'd be back to normal. He'd plug
I'll be there in either 5 to 10,000 years.
Yeah, exactly. He unplugs it, plugs it back in. It's like, all right, it's good.
Yeah. That's their problem there.
It's like, oh, I see. It wasn't plugged in. There you go.
You just need to reboot it. It's fine.
Yeah. You're like, oh, thanks for taking 10,000 years to tell us. Yeah.
I have other clients, man, and I have a lunch break.
Exactly. It's like, do you understand how long it takes me to travel between the fucking planets? Like, come on.
There's traffic around Saturn.
Yeah, exactly.
That ring, man.
There was a Men in Black.
You ever hit the fucking ring during rush hour? It's not pretty.
Yeah. The Men in Black speed trap. I had to slow down. Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it was New Year's on Jupiter, so they set up a speed trap because people were celebrating.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking like our fucking universe is populated.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I can't make up fucking planet names or nobody would get the jokes.
Exactly.
Like, or Bleeblarp. It's like, what the fuck is Bleeblarp?
Yeah, Bleeblarp. The other inhabited
No,
planet.
Bleeblarp. There are only 3 people watching. Which one of you isn't watching?
Hey, what the hell? But, all right. That's pretty much it. What do you guys think? Because I said what I thought it probably was. What do you guys think?
Well, I think what you're talking about with the polar orbit, it just makes it like a optimal like surveillance system, so they can check out the whole planet. But I also like my super spreader where it's used to cover the whole planet with certain organisms, or maybe like a DNA stream that can actually change our DNA. So they make sure they get everybody. That's a good theory.
Yeah, it's like putting fluoride in the water or something, but it's basically like spurting out some kind of like biochemical something into our atmosphere. That's like, I don't know.
I wonder if anybody has like any like ancient culture has any myths about it or anything, so we can know how long it's actually been there. But I don't know how they would see it. Maybe they could pick up some kind of signal from it. Maybe like a
because they didn't have telescopes.
Maybe a shaman or something. Yeah.
Maybe they saw it during the Aurora Borealis. Like, what the fuck is that dot?
Yeah, or maybe like an eclipse or something that streamed one across like the whatever.
Can you imagine that? You say, look, kind of looks like a man just floating in the sky. You're like,
yeah. I wonder if it's something that you could track yourself. Like, could you just like keep a telescope, on some kind of like polar orbit trajectory, like in the sky, like it's gonna fly over.
Well, here's the thing: it's black.
It'd
like the universe behind it.
That's true.
So it's like it's hiding up there.
That's a good point. It's camouflaged too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
we can't really see unless we're like next to the Earth.
Like they're like white or gray.
Yeah.
And we got shiny lights.
They're reflective.
Yeah, they're reflective. That one's not.
Because we kind of want to know where our satellites are, and they kind of bleep too, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
No, they don't.
I don't know if they do, but
yeah, I think it's a good ancient surveillance system.
That's a good point.
I don't know who left it here, but it's probably been here for quite a while. We just barely noticed it,
Yeah, it must have been, and then we didn't have the technology to actually like, look for it or look at it until Nikola Tesla started hearing some things, and then other people started hearing things. And it was like, okay, what else could be produced?
And it'd be the perfect place for a surveillance system.
Hearing things?
There,
That's true. I mean, maybe
that's like it links back to the fucking Philadelphia experiment about him hearing fucking electronic whispers that told him not to work on it.
Yeah.
Well, he did say that he got all his ideas from voices in space. So
I was gonna say he heard a lot of things, so maybe we shouldn't trust him on that. I don't
So
know.
Dark Pyramid was telling him.
maybe he
Yeah.
Who's
just
it
keyed
talking to
into it.
now?
Maybe he had that kind of certain wavelength that could pick up on that. You know,
Maybe
he's
he
just
is-
sensitive to it.
Ah,
Maybe he's one of the original, alien human.
Already spliced with the alien.
He's
You know, maybe
like, yeah, he's got some kind of
like
connection.
they used to say, like
them.
the kings and the pharaohs are, part of the gods. Maybe that means they're part of the aliens, and maybe he's just from that bloodline.
Yeah, I don't know, because he does have a pretty big forehead. He does have
He
a
looks
pretty
like an alien.
big. He could be.
And I believe he married a pigeon, so that's kind of strange.
Well, yeah, that's a little strange too. So something's a little up there.
He's a little off, but I mean, he was
Yeah.
a genius, though.
Yep. So
So, what do you think, Tori? What do you think? What are your theories?
I was
Wi-Fi
gonna say
router?
voodoo.
Right.
I was gonna say the Wi-Fi router, but I just kind of like the idea that it's like a stationary, like a monitoring system after the nuclear explosions. Like it is like, oh no,
So you think it's relatively recent then?
yeah,
yeah, because they haven't seen it till like 1940s, and that was like right after.
Well, we also don't have the technology to really be able to see it too. So,
Yeah, but
I mean, how long have we got telescopes in like the 1600s? And they were looking
but
at the
nobody's
North
looking
Pole.
up north.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right. So
Well, those people that explore the North Pole, you gotta think that they looked up at least once or twice.
they might
Yeah,
have
but
saw
it's
something, but
camouflage.
to them it would be just a star.
Yeah, it's
or
also
something,
camouflaged.
right? Like they wouldn't. I don't know.
I mean, they didn't make it easy to see. They didn't like put it like a big sign on it or saying, "Here we are."
Gowanus was
we're
right.
in our
The
satellite.
world is a prison.
Maybe
Ooh.
Yeah. Whoa.
it's the warden keeping us all here.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe it's just a Men in Black ship that's keeping an eye
The
on the whole
world
planet.
is a vampire.
They can't they've only got a limited number of Men in Black on the planet, so they can't be everywhere at once, so you need something keeping an eye on everybody.
Yeah,
I do like the
it is
it
like
being like a central like station that hooks up to the Dark Pyramids, so they can easily transfer to where they're going because like I said,
I like the way
it's
station
able to monitor
theory
the whole
too.
world.
So if they want to get out of the Earth's orbit or off of Earth real quick and don't want to go too far, they just warp to that, or
Yeah.
they don't want to go straight to like a black pyramid site. They could just go to that and manually drive in where they need to go. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, all
lots
right.
of theories.
Yeah,
That's
so
all we do here.
that's how we do it. All right, let's transition
We
into
offer no true, real information at all.
Nope,
Yeah.
nothing important, nothing
Purely
factual,
entertainment.
just, whatever.
You're not gonna learn anything here. So.
We got to entertain our one fan who keeps on coming in and out of our stream for some reason.
Yeah.
Watch like 5 minutes and leave.
Like, are
Yeah.
they song playing again? Oh, dang it.
Yep.
That's the song.
It's like,
Dang it.
I just came for the
Yeah.
intro music. Oh, shit, it's gone. It's done. Damn it. All right, I'm out. See you
Yeah.
guys.
We gotta stop.
Yeah.
We gotta stop putting the song in front. We're basically
We gotta have,
we're
like-
leaving after the opening act. We gotta fucking
Just
be the
randomly
opening
play
act
the
for our
song
song
while
now.
We're gonna have breaks like every 10 minutes to like play another song, so people are like, all right, I just caught it just in time. Hell yeah.
Why do these guys keep talking between the songs? I hate it.
Yeah. It's like,
30
why?
minutes waypoint song. All right, here we go.
Yeah. Like, why is there a 50-minute gap between the songs? Damn it. All right, well, let's transition into talking about games and shows and what you guys
You
have
remember to
been
get your
up to.
outro rap for this episode based off of Prince of Bel-Air.
Yes. Well, you develop an outro rap. We'll talk about games and stuff.
But it's not my episode.
All right, what have you guys been playing lately? What have you guys been doing or watching?
I've been playing Diablo.
Yeah.
I started a new build. It's fun. So.
What class are you
not
playing now?
really.
Do you like the new class?
Necromancer.
Oh,
I started
yeah.
a new class. I played that one pretty much, but
Boo.
pretty much for. I just wanted to start a new build, just try it out.
yeah. Are
Yeah,
you
I like
like
Necro.
at endgame with the character? Or are you doing the?
I just started them yesterday. So.
Oh, really?
I don't
Okay.
get to play that much, so I can only play
Yeah.
like an hour, like a day. So
Have you reached
don't
endgame
get
with
very far.
any characters yet?
yeah, it was some of the other characters.
Yeah. Nice. Cool. Well, I'm glad Diablo 4 seems to be in a better state than when I left it. So, yeah.
Yeah, they've done a lot of progress on it.
Nice. All
What
right.
about you? What you been playing and watching?
Not really much of anything, to be honest. I can't think of. I did start playing. There's kind of this strategy game. Oh, what's it called now? I can't remember. Oh, Claws and Chaos. It's like an auto battler, which I've actually been playing more of lately. And what's kind of cool about it though is you've got like these different units and stuff that are do different things and synergize in different ways and whatnot, and you put them, on the board in certain positions, and it kind of based on your positioning and how many of each kind of unit you have and things like that, they do different things, and so it's kind of fun to like play around in theorycraft with the different units you
Almost
can
like
throw
that
out
wild
there.
roll.
Yeah, and you can get like different items and food and stuff for them that gives them different buffs and things like that. So it's been kind of fun to do that. There's arena like PvP you can do, which is fun. Then there's kind of like a roguelite version of it where it just keeps on going and keeps going, and you get like buffs every 3 rounds or something that you get to pick from. So that's kind of cool too. Um, Other than
Interesting.
that, haven't really been playing a whole lot of games, and I can't think of like a series or a show.
There's nothing
Um,
really on right now. I started watching that new Penguin on HBO. It's not too bad. Have you guys seen that?
no, but I've heard that one's really good. I'm
Yeah,
interested to check
the
that out.
main actor who, I mean, I forget what his name is, but he's pretty famous, and they did a lot of makeup on him. He looks, they did a really good job with his makeup and everything. He's
Farrell,
a good actor. Is it?
something like that.
I don't know. I don't think it's Colin Farrell. It might be.
I've heard it's got really good reviews, and it doesn't even have Batman in it, so that's kind of cool.
Pretty sure it is.
It's interesting, but
Yeah, it's Carl
Yeah.
Farrell. Carl Farrell plays Penguin.
That's cool.
they did a good job with his makeup, so he's a good actor.
Mhm.
So
That's awesome.
well acted. It's always nice.
All right, Tor. Oh. There we go.
Oh, there he is.
All right, Tor. Before
I Men in Black when they show up.
Yeah, before the Men in Black kick me off, wrap us up. Tell us what you've been playing and conclude the episode.
Turtle Wow.
Turtle
Bye.
Wow. Well, tell us about Turtle Wow.
No.
What the? Wow, you're a terrible salesman for Turtle Wow.
Let's get out of here
Okay.
before he comes back. Okay.
I'm back. Tell us about
Okay.
Turtle Wow. Or I can just leave. We can just end it.
It's a slow-paced classic WoW Plus.
That's cool.
I ain't cool now.
Oh, it's classic WoW, but with better graphics.
No.
No, they didn't change the graphics. I think it's basically
I
classic
thought they did a
WoW.
new Unreal Engine on it, but
There is mods that lets you do that, but
oh, I thought it was supposed to be.
they're
better
out of date
graphics.
right now.
Hmm.
And they have the Legion graphics.
So basically classic WoW with some added content and different places and quests and things like that. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like glyphs that affect your offers different challenges. You got your hardcore challenge, you got your PvP challenge, you got the slow and steady challenge, you got the boar hunter challenge. Challenges.
That's cool.
Like the craftsman, the artisan challenge, where you're like you can only wear stuff that you make.
Oh, that sounds kind of fun. Yeah.
The vagrant challenge, where you can only equip gray or white gear.
So basically, like people that are excited about the idea of a Classic Plus, but didn't really like Season of Discovery very much, you can check out Turtle WoW. It's a free private server, and yeah, might scratch that itch for you.
And I've been watching the WoW House. Outhouse.
The Outhouse. What are you watching in there?
Ow!
Just
Ow!
Owl House.
the owl.
I watch TikTok in the outhouse.
Gotcha. Nice. All right. Well, we will wrap it up there. That concludes our episode 29.
Bye.
Make sure to hit the like, follow, subscribe button, share it with your friends, and leave us
almost at 30 already.
I know. Leave us a comment down
below
below
when you're talking shit. So.
Yeah, exactly. So
Bye.
let us know what you want for the next episode, or what you guys think about this one, and we will see you next time.
What you got going cooking up there, Mike?
Oh, wow.
Anything?
Yeah, any ideas for next episode? All right, well, tune in next week to find out more. Next time on the FullGrownPizza podcast. All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Play that outro.
Bye. Well, that's my line.